So I went to the movies last week, and right in the middle of the action sequence, the movie struck a pause and everything stopped. The screen froze, the music stopped, and everybody, including myself in the audience, went, we wanted to know what happened. There was a break in the action. Now, this is a lot like life. Well, at least it's like one area of life where over 80 million people struggle on a daily basis. And that area of life is weight loss. It's as if these people turn their focus away from living, away from fun and adventure and laughter and joy in their life, and they shift it towards fixing their bodies. That nothing else really matters until this gets fixed. After I lose the 20 pounds, I'll start dating. I'll start that business. I'll feel romantic with my husband. I'll buy that new outfit. After I fix this, then I'll start living. It's as if from the outside, they're going through the motions of their day to day life and you would never know. But on the inside, their life is on pause. Now, I know this feeling very well. My struggle with my weight and my body officially started when I was only 16. At 16, I went on my very first diet. It was called Lean Line. It's not even around anymore, but it's very similar to Weight Watchers. I guess technically my struggle actually started even earlier than that because by 16 I was already seriously dieting. So instead of being this fun, bubbly, carefree teenager, my focus went to my body. How many calories can I have? What can I eat? What can't I eat? How much should I be exercising? That became my life. I was diet obsessed. I traded in 17 magazines for diet books. I felt like my life was on pause. Well, I'm 45 now, and I just stopped dieting about a year ago. And guess what I've learned? Diets don't work. If they did, why would we need so many of them, right? So my life was on pause for almost 30 years. I secretly immersed myself with diet information. I was always searching for the latest and greatest, the one that was going to finally help me end my struggle. You name the diet, and I did it. And with each new one, believing this was it. This was the one that would cure me. I was always on a diet my entire life. And with each new diet I would start, there was this high, this crazy jolt of hope that would finally fix my body. And then I could be happy. And then I could live and move on. And before every new diet was that Last Supper mentality, of course, right? That you never know if and when you'll ever be allowed to eat this food again. So I should have it right now because I may never get to have it again, right? So here's the thing. Diets don't work when your problem is not about not knowing what to eat, how much, and when. When that's not the problem, diets are not the solution. But here's what diets do. Diets make us more preoccupied with food and our weight and our body. Diets make food the enemy. Dieting makes you feel guilty and obsessive. It teaches us that we can't be trusted. Diets teach us to turn outward to all the experts with their lists and their rules that they must know better than us what our body needs and wants. Even though we are completely capable in every other area of our life, right? Diets teach us that we can't figure it out on our own, that we need their lists and their rules, that we need to buy their products in order to really lose the weight this time. Diets teach us that we are failures, that we have no willpower and we have no motivation. And the harder you try, the harder you fail. So, yeah, I would look around at the rest of my life and be like, wait a minute, this just doesn't add up. I went to college. I have 2 master's degrees. I have had the same career for more than 20 years. I have a beautiful family. I'm a great mom. I'm a great wife. Success, motivation, willpower, that's like who I am. So why not this? Why couldn't I master this part of my life? So, what I finally figured out was that dieting is what did this to me in the first place. What happens from all the dieting is this crazy cycle of restriction and binge, right? Diet, 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 restrict, 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 until you just can't hold on anymore. And your body is screaming for food, and so you eat. And you eat and you eat and you eat everything that isn't nailed down and everything that you weren't allowed to have, right? Everything that was restricted on the diet. So now you overate everything that you would have never had with the Last Supper mentality before you started the diet. And then you just ate everything but the kitchen sink when your body couldn't take the restriction anymore. But then the really fun part comes. Then you hate yourself more. Then you scream and you yell at yourself and you beat yourself up mentally and you tell yourself how horrible and gross and disgusting you are and how something must be terribly wrong with you. So you're miserable before you begin the diet, and then you're even more miserable when you've broken your diet. And the self-loathing is supposed to help you get thin, of course, right? And so the cycle starts again. I'll hate myself skinny again. Until one day, I just couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't muster up the energy for one more diet. I just didn't have it in me. I knew that there had to be another way. I knew if I could just figure out why I needed the diet in the first place, then maybe I wouldn't need to diet anymore. I needed to figure out why I was overeating. Why was I eating more food than my body required for fuel? Why was I turning to food when I was not physically hungry? So I studied and I researched and I studied and I researched. And what I learned was that there is so much more to losing weight than just food and exercise. There is this whole other piece of what our mind is doing, how we view excess weight. The psychology behind the weight loss is this missing link that diets and exercise don't teach us. And I was fascinated by it. And I couldn't understand why more people weren't talking about this. So I've coupled my struggles with my many, many years of schooling, along with this missing piece of managing your mind and the thoughts within it. And I've made this incredible discovery. This is what puts you from pause to play on life and losing weight. So I want you to shift your perspective and try this. Instead of needing to be thin in order to have the life you want, what if you need to have the life you want in order to be thin? So instead of making weight loss your priority, what if you made living more your priority? What happens is, as you start to live more, your life becomes so incredibly awesome that you no longer need food to medicate your misery. So I'm asking you to view excess weight in a different way. I want you to see it as a gift, as a tool, as a powerful message that is trying to wake you up to your life, to get your attention and to move you from pause to play. This is a gift we need to use instead of try to fight with. So number one, I want you to see your excess weight as a sign that your passion is on pause, that you're eating more than your body requires for fuel in order not to feel and to soothe you. Because a lot of us are just living this life to just be comfortable, and we're going through the motions and we're living safe and we're afraid to take risks. But if money didn't matter, or if fear wasn't in your way, if there was something else that you could be doing, what would it be? What would light you up and set your soul on fire? People say to me all the time now, Tracy, you are so passionate about this work and what you're doing. And I say, yes, I am. And why aren't you? I want you to be passionate about what you do too. Prior to my work as a life coach and emotional eating expert, all I knew was elementary school. Teacher, school counselor, even briefly a principal. I loved it. I love the kids. But nothing ever made me light up like this does. I also have a love of great clothes and sexy high heels and designer bags. Shoes are definitely my thing, and they really complement the outfit that you're wearing, and they help you feel better about yourself. But as my own health journey continued, I started to realize that there is a lot more to loving yourself than a great outfit, some hot shoes, and an awesome bag. Self-love needs to come from the inside. So I started my own business, and about a month later, I lost 8 pounds. So my passion was on pause in my career. But I'm curious, where is your passion on pause? I also want you to see excess weight as unused personal power. I believe that in each and every one of you, there is a queen, and she lives within you, but oftentimes there is like this air war that goes on in our heads that keeps her hidden and small and won't let her come out. It's those negative, self-defeating things that you tell yourself to try to convince yourself otherwise. Lots of times people joke about how when you hit 40 and you move into your 50s and 60s, that should be your queenhood, right? But what I've noticed from the women in my life and the women that I work with is that when they hit that age, they're kind of out of practice and they don't really know what to do. So ladies, practice your queenly nature. Use your dog or your plants or your daughter's dolls if you must, but practice your queenhood and work it. Walk, talk, think, and act like the queen that you are. I want you to imagine, as you listen to me right now, wherever you are, in your car, at your office, in your bed, on the treadmill, that you have been crowned queen. And on your head sits a gorgeous gold and jeweled, blinged out crown full of diamonds and gems. And that when you get up, I hope that you'll walk around like you are queen. And the last thing I'd like you to consider the excess weight is that it's your unexpressed creativity. That we grow up as children being encouraged to express our creativity, right? That you should draw pictures, you should play games, you should play house and teacher, or whatever you are into. And that's encouraged. Fun is encouraged. But as we get older, we're kind of stuffed into this box of what we should and shouldn't do. And the times of playing house and drawing pictures and dancing and making music kind of goes out the window. Fun goes out the window. For me, I always expressed my creativity through music. I love to sing and dance and listen to music. However, nowadays, there's not much time for that in my life other than the Wednesday night hip hop with Samantha. But the nights that I can't get to Samantha's class, you'll find me in my kitchen with my kids at Club Gherkins busting a move because it's fun and because it feels so amazing. Actually, it feels better than any piece of chocolate, any carton of ice cream, or any chocolate chip cookie. You see, it's this unexpressed creativity that is so powerful, and it's waiting to be released in the way that feels good to you. So, whether it's knitting or a dance class or scrapbooking or singing or making candles or making jewelry or doing yoga, whatever it is that lights you up and gives you an outlet to express yourself, find it. So, my hope for you is that you can see that losing weight is so much more than understanding calories in, calories out, and how many steps you walked or miles you jog. There is so much more to it than that. Our bodies and the way that we carry them are a reflection of our inner life and our beliefs about who we are and what we deserve. Eat according to your body's wisdom and not in order to cope with your life, and you will arrive at your natural weight. So, my queens, I have a request. If you or someone you know is one of the 80 million people who struggle with their weight, let's call a truce, call a ceasefire, and instead give yourself permission. Yes, give yourself permission to follow your passion, to be the queen, and to stand in your power and truly express yourself. Because when we turn our attention to these things, play is pressed and the weight is released. There is no need to fight. Thanks for listening.